What up, everyone? Welcome back to the Anime Virgin. Today we're discussing The Way of the Househusband, and you got Briggs and Truck-chan with me. What up, guys?
Chucky Briggs!
Trucking pigs, what up, boys? I'm still sick, but I'm recovering.
I believe
No!
I am the big anime virgin this time around. Have you guys all been exposed to Truck Husband?
Oh yeah.
Truck
Truck
husband, truck
Husband.
husband!
Oh,
Oh, have you all been exposed to this show
dude,
before?
drama
Oh,
alert.
yes.
Truck husband announced.
Yes,
That was the perfect mistake to make.
that was beautiful. Yes, I have definitely watched Way of the House Husband before. I love this show.
Yeah, Sam.
Cool.
I watched season one a second time now,
Mhm.
to prepare for this podcast. I'm excited.
I still haven't been able to rewatch anything, but I did start watching season 2 today. As soon as I got the message that we were doing this, I was like, oh shit! So I started watching season 2 today.
Briggs, you
Hell
watched
yeah.
But
season
I
two,
do
right?
remember, I've watched
Yes,
this.
I watched most of it.
I have watched Way the House Husband season 1 like twice all the way through. Like it was kind of like my comfort show back in when did it come out? Like it was very early after it came out. I was just like started watching it because Briggs raved about it and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then I just found it
Briggs
so
raved about
funny.
I did. I'm a
You
big
did?
fan. I'm a big fan of it. I don't think it's for everyone because at the end of the day, it's a comedy and it kind of looks like shit sometimes. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that
and
definitely stood out. Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, I think sometimes like the lackluster animation adds to the comedy and like because it's I guess like kind of like this it almost looks funny how poorly it is animated and like the way things move. So
Right.
sometimes I think it adds to the comedy, but at the same time sometimes it just looks lazy and dumb. So if you don't find it funny and you just not up your alley, like it's not for you. But I personally like this shit consistently cracks me up. I'm a big fan,
I thought that it was gonna get old quick.
but it
I
doesn't.
thought the whole thing, but it never does. It never does. Even like season 2 starts out and it's like, oh my god, we're back to it again. And it's hilarious all over it.
Every now and again, there's like an odd episode or an odd part of an episode that I'm like, yeah, that just wasn't funny.
It
And
just
I'm
doesn't
like,
hit.
oh, is it getting old? And then out of nowhere, a banger episode comes, and I'm just fucking crying. Like,
So funny.
I was watching a little bit of it on stream. I was laughing hysterically. I could not control myself. Like I couldn't control myself. I'm like, we need to go back. I missed so much. I was laughing too hard. But anyway, before we talk about our favorite moments and all that, goes in. You are the anime virgin. What are your general thoughts? Do you like it? Do you
Yeah,
cook and
so my
eat it?
general thoughts are I definitely felt like you did at times. I'm like some things weren't that funny to me, but there were parts that made me laugh. Of course, there were hilarious parts. And it was interesting. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it was interesting getting the new format of like very short, almost TikTok episodes
Yeah.
thrown in within like the broader episodes. And it's definitely for the new generation, right? Like those like
Mhm.
just
Short attention
snippets
span.
that if you're a busy house husband, for example, you could literally just watch a bit and then pause and then do what you gotta do and then just unpause. You don't need to be there sitting down to catch everything because everything is like these 1 minute isolated bits.
Dude,
So for that reason,
I
it was
probably watched
easy to
season.
watch.
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off, man. I
No
think I
worries.
probably watched season one. Like if you actually add up the amount of times I just throw it on in the background, or I just put it on to have something on, or like like to fall asleep at night, I just throw it on. I've probably watched like my view count on Netflix is probably like 20 plus, 30
That's
plus.
hilarious.
I
Like
love that.
like I wake up and the season's done like every day.
And I gotta
It's
say, it grew
so
on me.
good.
So at first, also, I was like, the animation, like you said,
Mhm.
the images look nice. The like animation is nice, but it's not like the way it's put together is sometimes like a PowerPoint, right? Like
Yeah.
Yes.
the characters are drawn well. It's just sometimes it feels like a PowerPoint.
They don't move smoothly.
Exactly.
It's very
And
choppy.
it's almost like a moving comic book rather than like an animation sometimes. But at the same time, yeah, I just like with Record of Ragnarok, like I don't know if it's just the way my mind works, but I kind of make up the differences and I kind of
Mhm.
get used to it anyways. So that didn't bother me too much. And the characters grew on me. It almost became more funny for me the more I watched.
Yeah.
because I kind of started to get the characters and things took on new meaning. And every time Masa was fucked over, like it was even funnier than the time before because it's just adding to that lore of the characters. So I definitely it grew on me. That's the best way I can say it.
I do think just genuinely as well, like it just got funnier as it went. Like maybe the first
Yeah.
couple episodes, like they were just introducing the concept of it. And like don't get me wrong, they were trying to be funny and it was somewhat funny, but I feel like because it's like, oh, like they were sticking with like they're like it was like kind of like an intro to it. And then now that we know what's going on, I feel like they had like more room to be creative with everything.
Yeah,
I
they don't
thought it
need to
was
waste
Right.
time. They need to
yes.
waste time explaining things anymore. They can just like jump into it. I was another cool thing is like you learn shit. You know what I mean? Like you actually learn useful stuff like let's say what be it like how to make use of stale bread or like how to how to clean certain things out of other things with laundry. Like there's actually tidbits of information that you could use in your real life as you're watching this shows, which is kind of cool. It's like you're being educated while you're being entertained. It's
So
like those old school, you know, like in the 50s, how they'd like train like housewives and stuff like that. It's like the modern version of that.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
I love it. I really do
So
love it. Okay,
funny.
we need to go through some of our favorite moments. I don't know.
Yes.
Goes in, would you like to start?
Let's start with again, there's so many, but let's start with one that's in my mind right now. One of them was, and again, I don't know if this was season 2, but no spoilers, like no complaints about spoilers because we were supposed to watch all of it.
Yeah.
So there was this one part where they were going to play golf and with his wife,
Hmm.
and he says that he played golf, you know, with the Yakuza before. He pretty much says something like the Yakuza is golf or something like all Yakuza play golf. And they go to play golf, and instead of teaching her how to play golf, the whole thing is him teaching her how Yakuza are supposed to play golf with their boss without upsetting their boss.
It's
And it was
it's absolutely amazing. It was so funny. Like literally, he's teaching his wife, and his swing looks good. Like it's so much force. The form looks good, and genuinely, like his advice to like how to like for golf, like keep your eye on the ball, rotate your like hips or whatever, your shoulders. Like he had good, genuine advice, and then his wife is just like that looked really good, but the ball didn't go anywhere, and he's like. Well, of course, you never hit the ball. The most
you never hit the
important
ball further than the boss.
yeah, the most important rule, you never hit it further than the boss. I literally, it's actually so stupid. I literally told my dad that joke. Like, straight
I
up.
could see Brigo out there golfing with his dad, just being like, "Never let the ball go further than the box."
Yeah, exactly. It's like 3D chess, but with golf. Like he's not only playing golf, he's playing to look good in front of his boss when he's playing golf, and it's amazing. Like there's this one time where he always talks about his wife as his boss, sort of like
Hmm.
the house husband kind of. They're taking the house husband idea far, and so he's always like viewing his wife as the boss. And so in this case, the wife hits the ball, it ricochets and hits him in the face, and he's like, "Beautiful shot," because you always got to compliment the boss's shot.
Yeah.
So I just respected that because it was almost like a Zorro reaction. Like
Oh,
no
dude.
pain or anything. He didn't complain. He's just like amazing shot.
That's so funny.
God, I fucking loved every bit of that. Oh,
Okay.
I also fucking loved. I just want to say, like, we'll get
Yeah.
to more. We'll go around with everybody's, but I also loved Gin the cat. Like following his
Oh,
adventures
So
were
cute.
amazing. And I was so sad when he got his balls cut off.
oh my
I
god.
was so sad about that
It's an
too.
emotional roller coaster.
But it's such like it's like putting slice of life things in like an extreme context. Like this
Yeah.
is what this show is all about. And yeah, you have so many people like I never did that, but like I know friends who like got their cats fixed and stuff. And it's like that's exactly if I ever did get my cat fixed or a cat fixed, that's exactly how I'd react. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." And then like the cat's like looking sad and stuff. That's exactly me. I would be Tatsu in that situation.
All right, Chuck Sean, do you have a favorite moment that stood out to you?
So one of the ones that I remember, and this is one of my favorite moments from the entire show. I don't know. I think it's just the way that he said it. But he was walking with his wife. So like Tatsu and is it Miku? Are like walking.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they're walking on the street, and they're playing like a little like raffle game like on the street or whatever. and they ended up losing. And you know, it's like one of those moments where it's kind of like, you know, they're trying to win like a vacation, or like if it's like one of those things, and it, and like they end up winning like a vacuum or something like that. And he's like, "Oh man, sorry you didn't get that vacation there, bud." And he was like, "Oh, you thought I was gonna be upset, but you see that? My wife's smile is the best gift that I'll ever be able to get." And like, so he's like so intense, and it's about the most wholesome thing ever. And for whatever reason, that line got me. I laughed so hard. Okay.
It was so good, and then his wife punches him.
And his wife punches him. I was like, "Shut up!
You're embarrassing me."
Yeah, and it was like that, and then I don't even remember, but also like when he was meeting the other, like he was doing like yoga or something like that. Just like any of the scenes with like the extra like older ladies outside, like in the picture that we have today, those girls are so funny. Just like having like his interactions with all of like the older ladies or whatever at the gym while they're doing yoga. I don't even remember what was specifically said. I just remember.
Yeah, no,
Also,
me too.
Raph,
go ahead.
in the chat, I see. No Jonah Scott for this episode. Unfortunately, Briggs failed to mention that we were doing this again, and I forgot about it, so I couldn't even text Jonah. And the second that I thought about texting him, homie goes live. So,
Rip.
no, there is no, but...
Yeah, we definitely missed out on a good opportunity there. That would have been fire for the episode.
And we did listen to the dub.
He
too.
loves Househusband too. Like, he loved being Tatsu.
Aw.
Oh, it makes
Who
me
wouldn't?
so sad.
Tatsu's a fucking boss.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, and then we just forget.
If we ever do something on the Slime movie, I'll make sure that he's there.
There we go.
Low-key message.
There was-
He's
let me
literally
just-
live.
So many good moments.
Let me mention, just because we talked about the yoga part. Yeah, like the funny thing is always the recurring joke is how he keeps bringing back like Yakuza stuff to every normal situation.
Yeah.
So he's like one of the funny parts that stood out to me with the yoga thing is like he came up with his own name for every yoga position that was Yakuza related.
This is the pose.
So he's
And you
like-
have to get your hands cut off.
This is the pose where you mess up and you have to cut off your pinky.
Yeah, exactly. This is the pose where your boss punishes you for failing a mission.
This is the pose where you're tied up about to be thrown in the ocean.
Oh man, I fucking love that
This
so
is
much.
the
And then
the pose where you're shot in the shot face down in the head.
the comedic timing was so good when the woman leading it was just like, okay, how about you don't say what they're called anymore.
How about you stop talking now?
Yeah, stop talking now. Oh.
Okay,
go ahead, Bryn.
my favorite moment that I think this I don't even know if it's my favorite. It just elicited the biggest laughter out of me for the entire show. So it starts off with he's trying to like sell something at like a fair. He's selling stuff at a fair, and these guys are like harassing one of like a nearby stand for like, "You're on our turf, you owe us money, blah blah blah." And he interrupts and is like, "Hey, no reason to get violent here or whatever." And these like Yakuza guys turn around on him, and they're about to say something, and they realize he's the immortal dragon, right? And his knees the boss's knees start shaking right away. All right, so they go like this is even, like, I need to like have the build up just for the part. They go behind like a warehouse and they start talking. He's offering to give them things to leave the person alone, and everything that he gives them, the boss is interpreting it like, "Oh, is he gonna peel off my fingers? Is he gonna make me like swim with the fishes?" And his knees just keep getting worse and worse and buckling and buckling. And then later in the episode, you see the boss training. He's like, "I gotta train these weak knees." He's doing all these workouts. But before he goes out, he takes like a drink, and the stuff that he put in the drink said like stuff for a week, like whatever, whatever. So like he took like medicine for weak knees. So he takes this drink, this powder, and he goes out. It's like, time to take on the immortal dragon. The literal millisecond, the comedic timing that Tatsu shows up and he is within like eyesight of the boss. Instantly, his knees buckle and he's back face up on the ground. Like the comedic timing of
most
that.
extreme. Yeah,
I like
yeah.
absolutely,
So
dude. I absolutely blew up. I died. Like I
Me too,
buckled.
man.
I buckled the same way his knees buckled in that moment.
And you didn't even say the fact that like he just like, for example, gave him like a rubber duck, and the dude's like, "What does
Yeah.
this mean? Does this mean I'm gonna swim with the fishes?" Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he keeps taking every like sincere offer from Tatsu and just making it into this like Yakuza related like murder hit. It's
Yeah.
just fucking hilarious.
I
It's
I
the,
loved it.
it's the over exaggeration of the
Oh,
most
yeah.
mundane things, and it's so hilarious. I don't know, man. It's so funny.
I
And the
re- I,
comedic
I, re-
effect.
I rewatched the episode today. I knew it was coming, and it
Nice.
still fucking got me. Like,
Yeah.
like I was
so
still, it
funny.
still got me.
Dude, the comedic effect of just seeing visually him constantly with his apron is hilarious, but the fact that like people still take him seriously while he has the apron on is even
Oh, yeah.
funnier.
Well, you know,
It's
he's
Like,
got
no
the,
one
he's
gives
got the
a
shades, the
fuck.
slick back hair, the scar, the suit underneath. Like, he's got the look. People see him as intimidating and scary.
And then
in
he's got
every
this,
situation.
like, teddy bear apron on. Like,
Like, homie's riding his bike trying to deliver something to a friend, and like the police are always like, "What's this Yakuza up to? Is he trying to sell drugs? Oh, he's meeting up
oh
for
my
a deal."
god! The birthday party
It
thing.
was the birthday party.
That's a standout for me as
What
well.
was it? What was in the case? Oh, I literally just brought. Oh, this is a homemade basil that you. Or like
Yeah.
homegrown basil that you brought me.
Oh.
Thanks, dude. Like.
Oh my god, it reminds me, like, because I think in like a similar restaurant, he was sitting with like other housewives, and he was like they were all telling stories about stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that reminds me," and all his stories are about the yakuza, so they're all very abusive. And then the housewives think that like his wife is abusing
Miku's
him.
abusive.
They think that Miku's abusive, and I'm just there dying, like he's.
It's so awesome.
Oh my god. Literally, the interactions in this show are so gold. I don't know how you could not find it funny.
Oh,
Yeah, I
dude.
loved the interaction with him and his wife. Like they're hilarious, and obviously like how he always goes on those adventures that usually you'd imagine like housewives going on, and just
Yes.
with him, it's so good. And the way they treat old ladies in the anime, like
Oh, it's
like even
so great.
the woman at like the PTA or whatever, and they're like the
Yeah.
8 immortal dragons or whatever. Like it's just so funny. And then he has to like kind of beg them and give them tea and like get their approval by arranging flowers the perfect way.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And he takes everything so seriously. That's what I love about his character. Like nothing is beneath him or nothing is like too trivial for him given his Yakuza past. He's just willing to do everything.
Dude,
Oh.
do you guys remember the scene in the mall? With
Oh, God.
there was I don't remember what it was
It was
called.
the polycure figure.
Yeah.
Are you talking about,
Yes.
like the clerk with
Dude.
like
Yes.
trying to say like he's like has to like murmur the saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he keeps
to
forgetting it.
remember- He keeps forgetting it.
He keeps forgetting. It
And,
was like
he's intimidating the fuck out of the employee.
I don't
the-
remember what the
the wo-
saying was, but that was so
I think
gold.
the saying was supposed to be along the lines like I'm gonna tie you up and kidnap you, something like that.
No. That's what he kept fucking up.
That's
and
what he
saying.
said to the cashier.
He kept saying, "I'm gonna tie you up," and it was literally something like, you know, like we'll defend, like we will defend, or it was a polycure saying, so to
Yeah.
speak, in the anime. Also, can we just like appreciate the fact that the wife is a weeb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
Amazing.
cutest thing. I love it. I love it so much. I love her. I think she's a hysterical character, and like, it's one of those things where it's like you wonder, like, you know, at first glance, it's kind of like, how did this, like, you know, like cute little, you know, anime loving, you know, nerd fall in love with a yakuza, and then you realize like she's tough as nails, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like she'll straight up punch him. Like and it's usually just because it's like, you're embarrassing me. Like it's literally like I don't know.
They
I
have a
love
very
the way
cute
that
relationship.
Their relationship is so fun to watch.
Even like the
It's so
beach
cute.
volleyball scene where it's like, oh, like the Bears guy comes up. It's like, yeah, we kicked their ass last time in volleyball, and she's like, you're just gonna take that? Let's go kick their ass in
You're gonna
volleyball.
take that? Like,
And then she like jumps up to Spike, and she's like, polycure blast.
yeah, it's so cute. She's such a nerd. I
Yeah,
love
I
her.
love it.
I even enjoyed when they were just hanging out and like watching the Polycure anime.
Mhm.
I'm like, fuck, this is
Yeah.
just good vibes.
Yeah.
Like
It is. It's just a feel-good show, man. It is such a feel-good show.
I think the scene that I was actually about to talk about, I guess there's a few good ones in the mall, but it was a polycure, like they were like doing a little play for the kids in the mall.
Oh my god!
or was
And
it a hospital?
No, that's a different
Or-
thing. So
Okay, it's a
another
different
similar scene,
This
but
is
yeah,
at the
they're
mall.
putting on like an act at the mall, and obviously all these kids are watching it, and the only adult that's actually interested is his wife,
Yeah.
and she's like, I want to go up there and like act out with like be part of it with
I
them.
want to do it.
And but I'm too embarrassed because like the person who does it and goes up gets to like have a meet and greet with them afterwards or whatever. So all the
Yeah.
kids are putting up their hand, and then Tatsu, the house husband's like puts his hand up all menacingly, and the girl's like, I have to choose him now. And then he
Or
goes,
he'll kill her.
or
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like,
So he,
I have no choice.
Yeah.
I guess they're all a man in the back. Like, it's just like terrified.
and it's supposed to be like an action scene. Meanwhile, he's like, okay, so who started the battle? Violence only, conflicts only like bring more conflict. Violence only bring more So he pulls it like a tea set. They're having tea. They're talking it out, and like, and meanwhile, the kids in the audience all have this like expressionless face.
They're just like, what is happening?
This
And
is
they-
the wrong genre.
They make an
Yeah.
agreement out like as if they're Yakuza bosses now.
Exactly.
And then they all slow clap afterwards. Like, what is going on?
Like, what just happened? What did we just witness? That wasn't real.
And that's not Polycure. That's two Yakuza bosses coming to an agreement to not go on each other's turf no more.
Exactly.
It's amazing. I love this show. Like I'm
Aw.
Me
nerding
too.
out so hard right now.
And I love
I love
Masa
this.
just in general. I love his
Masa,
character.
He's a dumb little. Oh my god, he's so
I-
cute and so dumb.
Dude, he's so awesome. And like he at first he's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why are you acting like this? But then eventually he accepts that the way of Yakuza is the way of the house husband. And he gets on board from learning from Tatsu. And it leads to so many funny situations, like when he's like in his room, like trying to like be a good house husband, right? But then he's like just laying on the couch and he's like, you know what? Like I should get food, but like I'm too lazy to go out and buy it and this and that. And by the end of the day, it's like 11 p.m. And then he's like, I didn't do anything, but tomorrow I'll be a good house husband. And I just I fucking love that. I love the laziness. I love the how real it is, how real this show hits, like covering
Yeah.
stuff that most anime like would gloss over the
Mhm.
everyday. Yeah, I could relate to it.
Also, Tatsu trying to help Masa with his laundry.
Yes.
Like, going through all of the ways that he like. It's like, nah, you're gonna need this to get this stuff. Name drop Jonah. We have plenty of times.
Yeah.
Plenty of times. If you guys don't know already, if you have not been watching for very long, I am very good friends with the dub actor for Tatsu. An actor by the name of Jonas Scott. You should definitely check him out. He's on Twitch right now as Alpha Anarchy. And homie did an absolutely fantastic job. I can't wait to watch more of season 2 because I did not get to finish season 2 yet because of my subathon. But god damn! And I loved what he did in season 1 even before I even met him. So when I found out that he was the house husband, I was very excited. And I was like, oh shit! Like, this is great! But yeah.
I
no,
literally found out mid podcast. Like we had him on Rank Cafe, and it
I
came
know.
up. I'm like, no way! And I started geeking out a little bit.
I was like, I feel like the two roles that Briggs is gonna absolutely fold for Jonah are gonna be Katakuri in One Piece and Tatsu
fucking
in Way the House
crazy.
Husband.
Yeah, he
I
did an
was like-
amazing job.
I was like, he's gonna absolutely love it because I knew that I actually forgot for like a split second that you like loved this show. So I was like, oh, you're the house husband.
There were
Yeah.
literally times when I was like just appreciating his voice acting. Like I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, fuck, he did a great job delivering that line.
He does a good job.
And
I've
and maybe
watched
that's
most of
because
his
like
work.
because last podcast I figured out like that you know him, but I was like fuck, that was well delivered. That was well fucking delivered.
He does an amazing job. I actually like it's one of those things like I've been a dub watcher for a very long time just because I've had to, but also like I think just voice acting in general is just such an incredible thing, and like paying more close attention to what they do, especially like now that I'm friends with some voice actors, like I pay extra close attention to like their roles and stuff, and they just I don't know. It's just such a really great work, and it definitely adds to it. But like it's not even separating the friend from the work. Like genuinely, I love hearing how they deliver stuff and how they interpret this happening in that scene. It's a really really cool process to just get to see the final result of.
A good
Yeah.
voice actor could really bring an anime to life, and I feel like if something is poorly done or doesn't the voice doesn't match the character, it like
Mhm.
completely ruins the immersion. So they have such an important job, both in sub and dub, you know?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Like I'm sorry, but I can't watch Dragon Ball in subs, and it's not just because I grew up with the dub. Like it ruins the immersion to have that high pitched voice for a jacked man. Like this is not. There's some comedic elements, but
I just got used to
if
it, man.
moments that aren't supposed to be funny and comedic
Mhm.
sound and are supposed to be badass sound like a prepubescent boy,
Screaming
like
old lady.
it just doesn't work for me, right?
Mhm.
It's interesting. So I can't believe. So throughout all of Dragon Ball Super subbed, you weren't watching? You were waiting for the dub or
No,
what?
I watched it in sub. I just thought it was terrible, and
Oh,
it ruined the
no.
immersion.
Yeah, I got fucking used to it. But I
And
do think,
it's not just Goku. There's so many subbed
but
voices
I
in
think it's because
Dragon.
you grew up on it. No,
No, I
like
disagree.
100%. 100%. I don't think there's any Japanese
It,
born person who's like, yo, Goku's voice is fucked up.
dude, you could have that voice for Ash. Like you could have a female voice actor do Ash or Yugi Moto. Like, but you Goku's jacked. Like I know he's like an innocent,
Dude,
naive. Like
look at
he
fucking
has
Mike
the soul of a
Tyson.
child.
Look at Mike
Yeah,
Tyson,
and
bro.
Mike Tyson, while being badass and being like whatever, like
He's has the
he sounds like an idiot. I can't take him seriously when he speaks. So if he was in an anime,
but
I would
don't
be
say
like
it's
that.
unrealistic though,
I
bro.
would say,
Don't say it's unrealistic.
okay, but you grab one example. Like I don't know. I feel like
An iconic
if Mike
example.
Tyson voiced a badass character in anime, I'd be like, that's a bad voice actor.
Mm.
There's no bad voice actors,
That's not
only
true.
bad roles.
That's not true.
I'm just making shit up.
If I was a voice
Um,
actor, I'd be terrible.
Fair enough. Yeah. What? Anything else you guys that stood out to you guys with this show?
Mike Tyson's Mysteries. I watched that. Dude, I got so baked one day and put that on. I was dying.
There
How
is
does
bad
being
voice
baked affect the
direction.
way you view stuff, Briggs?
I think comedy.
Educate us guys who don't really get baked.
Um, I think comedy anime hits different. Like how do I say this? Certain emotions are amplified when you smoke weed. I do think it makes you chill. I do think it calms you down sometimes, but there are certain emotions that are amplified and certain feelings that are amplified. And I think one of them is for sure like experiencing things that are funny, or experiencing music. Certain things are definitely amplified, and
All right, an
changes
amplifier.
and changes the
Fair enough.
experience. I think it amplifies a lot of things. Like I don't recommend it for people with extreme anxiety because I think it'll amplify your anxiety. It'll affect everyone differently. So some people take it and it helps them, but I do think it amplifies a lot of things.
Mm.
Fair enough.
You don't expect the punchline sometimes. They catch you more off guard because you're fucking done.
It's like my brain's not really activated right now. Oh hey, that caught me off guard. That was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Tatsu, like another thing that was funny with Tatsu is that he literally just like every situation with food, they made it like seem like it was about drugs. Like
Oh
flour
yeah,
was cocaine, like just some
white
herbal stuff
powder.
was herbs, like or weed, I guess. Like
Hmm.
they just talked about it like that all the time,
Hmm.
to the confusion and anger of police officers as well.
Oh, it's so funny the amount of times that he threw off like police officers and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure that I watched the like birthday like the case like the briefcase thing that had like the party hats and stuff in it, like, and they were going to the the closed restaurant because they had closed it down for the party or whatever. Like the moment where they walk in and it's just like the little like the one like party popper that just goes like them walking in on that and it's like happy birthday. I've watched that scene so many times because of just the pure like shock and awe face of the police officers. I thought that was the funniest thing. I watched it so many times. Just I
It's
was like, I need to
amazing.
watch it again. I need to watch it again. That's so funny.
I was on Netflix watching this, and I saw like one of the things when you click on the show was like quick laughs, right? And it has like a short scene from this show, and I thought to myself like, man, this is like the perfect show to just take over our generation, where like episodes can be just split into TikToks or like YouTube Shorts and just like breed and take over the internet.
It's true.
Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
easy laughs. Definitely easy laughs.
I just wish
for
it was
sure.
animated a little bit better.
Yeah, and honestly, like I
Same.
don't know how much that would have impacted my enjoyment, if at all. Just because that's not the focus of this anime.
I
No.
You know?
agree, but I think there's a lot of people who are gonna watch episode one and be like this, and maybe not find it the funniest, and it does get funnier later on, and because it looks like crap, and not maybe not looks, but like you could tell that there's no actual
The
like
movement.
the movement itself and the like
Is
animation and
lacking.
choreography is just so like this non-existent. People aren't gonna give it a chance. People
Yeah,
talk
like
negatively,
record.
dude. Literally, people in chat were saying earlier like, "Oh, I heard it was adapted poorly, so I didn't watch it."
So I'll say this to anybody thinking that did not affect my enjoyment whatsoever. With an anime like Record of Ragnarok that's like all action, like obviously you hope more that it won't be a PowerPoint. But with this one, it did not affect my enjoyment as far as I could tell.
100%. It hurts way more in something like Records of Ragnarok than something like this. This doesn't. I don't care at all. And thank
You
you, Sam,
need
for the
to,
500 bits
yeah,
and the 2 subs. Appreciate you, brother.
thank you. And you need to just experience the greatness that is Masa. You just gotta
Mm-hmm.
do it. That character is fucking amazing. Makes me laugh every time he appears. Like I get so happy. Like, you start to get used to these characters
Hmm.
and grow attached to them and like everything gets funnier because like you have this like, oh, I know that character. And every time Masa appears, man, I'm just like, this is gonna be a great episode. It's gonna be a fucking and they have a great bromance too with Masa and
Record of
Tatsu.
Ragnarok season 2 in 3 days, and no one is talking about it. Nope.
No,
We're gonna fucking
people are
talk about
talking
it
about it.
when it comes out for sure.
I made a short talking about a different anime, and people were like, "Talk about Records of Ragnarok." I'm like, "That's very weird. Why?" And I guess it's because season two's coming out. I didn't even know.
Yeah, we did actually do an episode for guys listening on the podcast on Rank Cafe. We did an anime version for Record
Yeah,
of Ragnarok, so you could actually go back and find that. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting for sure. I love the concept. I even was motivated to get into the manga after watching the first season, and I gotta say, I love the manga story. So I hope they do a good job with the animation.
hell yeah. So I guess we would all recommend this as like a watch
I would.
to
I
our
would.
viewers.
And it's like a great and I'm the virgin here and it's a great just, enjoy, laugh, you know, don't worry, good atmosphere, good vibes. It's that kind of show and you're not going to get obviously, crazy epiphanies or like crazy high stake moments, but you're going to get a lot of laughs out of this one. It's a feel good
True.
show for sure.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely one that like if you're in like a happy mood and you want to be in a happy mood, just watch the show or just listen to it in the background. Put on the dub.
Yeah.
It's a really great fucking show.
Yeah,
It's definitely got some great times.
Yeah. It's
Very
a perfect for just after a long day, just like chilling out and just like enjoying some laughs. And you don't need to be on the edge of your seat and being like paying attention. You can just relax and watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1000%. I feel like there's some days that are just so long and tiring. Like I'm like I can't handle an anime like Vinland Saga right now. Like I love Vinland Saga, it's one of my favorites. But like I just can't watch the new episode right now. Let me put on Way of the Househusband.
Yeah, exactly. Some shit's like heavy, like some
Yeah,
shit's like people getting murdered and like all this stuff. It's like
Yeah.
I just want to watch a Yakuza guy chop carrots.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
man.
It's like, and it's one of those things where this one has like the characters are as intense as some of those people, but they're doing the most mundane shit, and it's just
Yeah,
funny.
it
You don't feel tense even when they get tense.
exactly because there's always like this comedic relief
Yeah.
following it, so you know that like all these buildups, which they often do, will get like de-intensified really
Dude,
soon.
even just as they started, like, the perfect example of this is, like, episode 1 of season 2. Like, the very first few scenes where he's, like, going and he's like, it's time to collect your fees. And he's got all this, like, intense face, his scars in full view. And he's like, that'll be 500 yen. And, like, it literally gets so dramatic to the point where one of them is like, please take whatever you want! Just don't hurt my child! Like, it's,
It's amazing.
it's one of those things that's so over the top. And he's just like, that'll be 500 that'll be 500 yen.
Which is
For,
like $5.
It's like I'm looking for $5, and like these people are all freaking out. Who are you? What do you want? Like it's so stupid, and I love it.
Yeah, his good-heartedness like really makes it for such like so many funny moments because everybody assumes the worst, and he's such a
Yeah,
good guy just trying to function in society.
he's just a good dude. He's just trying to live his life after being like the guy in the Yakuza. Like everyone's scared of him, and he's just like, I live a normal life. I fell in love, and
Dude,
live in
like,
a
and his
small
wife
little
even tried.
apartment.
It's like everyone's scared of you. Let's go to the mall and go shopping and like fix this. Let's get you some like normal looking clothes.
Normal looking clothes.
And
He looks terrifying in all of them.
he looks terrifying and all. Well, to be fair, he got like very traditional and like everything was
I
like
feel like they were all Yakuza related
they're all
shit.
they were all like his style was just yakuza. And
Yeah,
she's like, okay, we
literally.
settle this by getting like a polycure what's it called?
Apron
like a
or-
Apron.
an apron.
Yeah, he had like a polycure apron. He's like, okay, over top of his suit and chain and glasses and slick back hair and scar.
Yeah.
It goes to show how important like presence is, and like I know it's animated and it's not real, but it's like it literally he could wear anything, he still carries that like aura around
Oh
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he could wear whatever, you won't laugh because you're like, holy shit, this guy's
That's
badass.
terrifying.
Yeah. It was fucking beautiful. And just even little moments like that dog with like that looked badass with the scar over its eye. It was called Elizabeth. Like random shit. His
Yeah.
ex-Yakuza enemy just has a dog called Elizabeth, and then they fangirl over each other's dogs. It's
Yeah.
so fucking pure and wholesome.
amazing.
Like it's amazing.
Oh my god. When he gets
Oh.
into like a there's like like the dessert bake off between the two ex Yakuza.
Exactly. I even liked they recently went to to a sauna thing. They created a sauna in a tent, and I think it was season 2. And they went with his wife, obviously Tatsu, and the other one went with his sister. And they were just like in there trying to make it as hot as possible, competing with each other. And I love that. I love that, and I related to it because I also experienced the sauna, and I like how he was just like, "This is not nearly enough steam," and they just keep making it hotter and hotter. It was fucking,
And they're
it
just
was
riling
awesome.
each other up, and it's like just like being stupid, and then the wife and sister like
Of course,
they're a bunch of
yeah,
idiots.
the girls beat them up again. Like
Yeah,
the girls just
Yeah.
like punch them out, and like they
threw them
end
in
up.
the
Dude,
river.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to watch that episode. Like, genuinely, just talking about this show makes me so excited to watch season 2.
Hell yeah. And I think on
Yeah.
on that note, I think that's a good place to end it. I know it's a shorter one, but it's a
Yeah,
it's a
no,
comedy after all.
exactly.
Yeah,
And in
it's a
this one,
short anime. There's not much.
yeah, we don't need to cover all of the things. You get the idea from
Hmm.
like a few scenes. You get the idea of what it's from. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend it. The comedy is great, and yeah, just all around good show. All right, guys, if you did enjoy this podcast episode and you enjoy the podcast, give us a 5-star review on Spotify. Let's get that to 1,000 ASAP.
Let's go.
1,000 reviews. Let's do it. Truck Chan wants it. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang!
Dang.
I don't want it.